Why, good afternoon, everybody. This is Steve, and we have another episode today on the Little Woodshop. Episode. Okay, well, what we have for you today, I was in a forum the other night in either social media or one of the groups I belong to, I don't remember. And there was a gentleman, excuse me, who had brought up an interesting point of what's involved in taking a print and putting it into CAD. And what he was implying for was more so for clocks, wall clocks. Okay, so I took it upon myself to make this video. What I'm going to do, and I found online, all the links and everything will be included in the video. Well, we found a company called ClockKit. Okay, I'm not associated with them, I'm not affiliated with them. I just buy my inserts and the peripherals that I need to build some of my clocks from this company. We can put the link in. But they offer a bunch of free plans. And one of the free plans that they offer is how to make a free contemporary slimline wall clock. Aha! That would be this item right here. What we're going to do, we're going to teach you how to take their schematic with all their measurements and radiuses and this and that. I'm going to teach you how to take it from their drawing, how to put it into CAD, how to make yourself this nice clock. This really is a nice clock. What they also discuss is the fact that it only needs 4 parts to actually make it work. You need the quartz movement, which is the clock with the hands and the pendulum. You need a clock face and a sawtooth hanger. Well, guess what? These are your plastic, this is a bigger one, but this is basically what this is. This is just a big plastic clock face. They're anywhere from $3 and up. We're going to cut that out. I'm going to teach you how to fab this clock without buying some cheap plastic face. And as far as hangers go, everybody's got a hardware store, or chances are you've got hangers at home. So the only thing you're going to need to do is buy the clock insert and the 2 hands. Okay. Now, this particular modular clock that we fabricated is also requires no hardware. I tweaked the layout and the design to my liking a little better, and that's the one I'm going to share with all of you. The face can pop off. It currently isn't glued on, and it is literally as simple as the face, the frame, the mounting arms, which are nested right inside, so you have minimal waste of material. This face actually has a 12, 3, 6, and 9 o'clock dot. We have taken around the entire project, and we've done a 90-degree bevel before we did our cutouts, so we have a nice bevel on the edges. And we sunk the clock face, we sunk, it looks like I left about 1 inch rim. And I dished it out with a 90-degree bit first, and then I turned around and I hit it with either an end mill or a 1.5 inch spoiler board bit or whatever I had to raise the bevel to give it a nice dimensional appearance. I still haven't milled out on the back yet for the clock insert, but that's no big deal. When this is all said and done, this thing goes together with just glue and clamps, and it's really a nice clock. It will make a nice gift for somebody. Give it to your grandma. Grandmas love nice gifts. This would be a nice gift for grandma. Okay. This is another clock that we built, coincidentally. This is one that is made out of northern spalted maple that I got from a local gentleman. This one is fully functional. This is our clock that we have up here in our shop. And again, nothing too major. Very simple to make. This one, I fabricated it kind of on the same idea as a snowshoe, if you would. And another one, this has no hardware. But on the face, what we opted to do is between the CAD and the diagrams and whatnot, we used 4 1/2-inch dowels. And that's what we used to attach the clock face. Glue, clamp everything, and hey, we now have this beautiful little clock up here in our shop. Now, without further ado, we're going to take this project into an office, into my office. We're going to start the breakdown of the physical schematic, and I'm going to show you in the first process how to take everything off that diagram and get it into VCarve Pro or whatever CAD software you happen to be using. If you don't have VCarve, well, hopefully what I'm instructing you can apply and wrap around something else. So, hang on. We'll be right back. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye. All right, everybody, welcome back, and here we go. All right, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull up the website we were talking about earlier. ClockKit.com is a supplier that I use to buy my inserts from, or any little components that I need in which to construct and fabricate my clocks, period. Okay? In here they have a free plan. That's where we're headed. They've got a bunch of different things in here, but for this particular project, we're doing the free contemporary slim line wall clock woodworking plan. Okay. Now, this is the item that we are going to construct. Okay. The item is available for download once you sign in. To sign up for them is probably no different than signing up for any other website. So I'll let you guys handle that. Go on, download your package with your PDF files with all your blueprints and your schematics and whatnot. Okay? And that's the first place we're really headed. Now I've already downloaded this and I've already got it in my folder. So here we go. Put this down a little bit. All right. This is the clock that they give away. This is their PDF file. It's not bad. It's 11 pages total. Introduction, required components. Okay, and like we said, we're going to be taking a couple of those components out. General specifications. Okay, this is what we're looking for right here. Okay? This is the dimensions of the frame in and of itself. So we're going to start there with this, okay? Well, the next thing we're going to clearly pull up is going to be our CAD software, okay? Now you'll have to forgive me because I'll have to bounce back and forth between him and him, all right? Now, I want to know what I'm going to need to assign my machine's work size for, okay? And the way I do this is I'm going to look at my general overall. This clock is 17 inches from top to bottom. It's 4.5 inches wide. Okay, I'm going to create a new job. 10 inches is more than wide. 24 is a little more than I need, so I'll go 20. Okay. My thickness is 1 inch. That's the material I will be working with. Most of the material I have in my shop is rough cut to 1 inch or a little thicker. My datum position, I always start from the middle. My unit of measurement is inches. We click OK. All right. Now, back and forth, back and forth. We're going to look for this radius right here. Now, I've done this enough now so that I know. Okay, we're 4.5 inches wide. Great. We're going to go in here, create vectors, under draw circle, and we're going to pop him in, and under diameter, set him for 4.5 inches, apply it, okay, close. I'm going to bring our blueprint back up. Okay. Now, we're also looking at this, and we're going to build a box right now. Okay? Minimize them again. Now, we know he's 4.5 inches. We go to Create Vectors, we go to our square. Square. bring him down. Okay, we know that he's got to be on our width. He's got to be 4.5 inches. We know on our height, he's got to be 17 inches. We're going to apply that. Alright, we're going to take this box. I want to make sure that he's dead center. I'll go to Transform Objects, Align Select Objects, center him. Great. Now, I'm going to pull our blueprint back up. We have a radius. Okay, up here these guys went with a 1-inch radius. Okay? We're going to highlight our 4.5-inch round again. We're going to bring him down below. Okay? I want to make sure that he's about as centered as he can be on my center line. He is now. Okay, now, I know in my corners up here, as I just said, and the blueprint told us, we have a 1-inch radius on our corners. We're going to come over, make sure our diameter is clicked. 1.0 inches, we're going to apply. Great. We're going to click on him, and we're going to drag him up in this corner. Okay. Well, I want to do the same thing over here, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to copy, I'm going to paste him, I'm going to pull his duplicate right over here and do the same thing. Kapow. There we go. Now, if we look, and this might be a little bit hard for me to get in there, but we will try. I will do my best. Okay. Now, and I want to pull him down a little. I'll pull him down a little bit more. Okay. Basically, I want to do a side-by-side. These are our 1-inch radiuses here. This will be our 1-inch radius here. This is our 4.5-inch outside. This will be our 4.5-inch outside. Okay? Let me minimize. What we'll do is we'll blow these right up so that you can see them a little bit more clearly. Alright, what I'm going to do here, and we'll try to do this quick to keep these videos down, but yet I will try to narrate enough so that I don't lose you guys. Alright, Transform Objects. Edit Objects, Node Editing. Light up your circle. Okay? What we want to do is we want to keep the points that are on the outer framework. We'll call this one maybe our 12 o'clock and our 9 o'clock, okay? I know that these terms aren't machinist or technical terms. I am just trying to help you new guys out as much as I can, okay? We're going to delete the point. We're going to delete this point. Alright? Then we're going to delete this span. Okay? And the way I did this, again, Transform Objects, Edit Objects, Node Editing, light up my circle. I am going to right click with my mouse. I'm going to delete that point. I'm going to right click with my mouse. I'm going to delete this point. I will right click on my mouse again and I will delete the span. We're going to basically do this as well down here at the bottom. Okay? You should be getting a little feel now. Now, we're dealing with 3 sides and not 2 corners. Okay? Not just our side and our top. We're dealing with our sides and our bottom. So we're going to leave these 3 and we're going to delete the span. Now, we need to get rid of these corners. Okay? It's going to be our next step. Alright, I'm going to come in. Now mind you, I am still on Edit Objects and I am still under Node Editing. Alright. I am going to make sure that you're on here and not your curve. Okay? You're half a circle. You're going to right click, you're going to insert a point. Great. We're going to come over here. We're going to do the same thing. Our curvature comes up. We're going to get ahead of it just a little bit. Right click. We're going to insert a point. Okay. Our points are inserted. Our circles have been chopped down to where we're going to make our radiuses, and that's what we're going to do now. Okay? I am going to right-click, delete my span. I'm going to right-click. I'm going to delete this span. I will right-click, and I will then delete this span. Okay. Corners are gone. We're going to just repeat the same thing up here at the top. Okay. Right-click, I'm going to insert a point. Right-click, I'm going to insert a point. I'm going to delete a span. I'm going to delete a point with my right-click. Okay. Same thing again, one last time. Here. And oh, I got a little premature there. Okay. No worries. All we got to do is hit our undo, and there we go. I'm going to insert a point. Going to insert a point. Right-click, delete span. Right-click, delete point. Now, we want to join all of our vectors and turn this into one solid toolpath. That is what we're going to do. We're going to come down here to Edit Objects, Join Open Vectors. Okay. Now, this is lit up. You need to hold your Shift key down if you want to highlight more things. Okay. Keep them lit. Now we have now highlighted every vectorized toolpath, but we want to make it one toolpath. We click Join. There you have it. You now have one solid toolpath. Alright, now we're going to pull our blueprint back up again. Okay, now for our interior, let's pull this measurement up. I should know this by heart. Okay, we're 2.5 inches wide by 15 inches tall. Okay, I hope everybody can see that alright. From our inside to our inside, we're 15. We're 2.5 wide. Now right here, on the outside, we did a 1-inch round to make our 1-inch radius. Okay. Now they're calling out for a 1/4 inch here. I want a little bit more than that, so we'll show you what we're going to do. All right, let's minimize our blueprint again. This time we're going to build, and it really doesn't matter if you want to do your rounds first or your box, but I'm going to build my box first. Okay. Now I know I'm going to hoop-de-doo a box like this. Big rectangular box. Okay. Now, I know that my width right here is going to be 2.5. I know that my overall height, or length on this, is going to be 15.0 inches. I'm going to apply that. Okay, let's close it. And now let's go into our Transfer Objects, Align Selected Objects, get everything dead center. Okay, now, we know with this being 2.5 inches wide, we go into Create Vectors. We make another circle. We make our circle 2.5 inches in diameter. Apply it. Great. We close him out. Now we're going to come over here. Left click him. Get him lit up so we can move him. We're going to bring him down. Now we want the very bottom of the circle down here to kind of touch the bottom of the box. We can come over to Transform Objects, Align Material. Okay. Now, top side, we've got up here, we got 2 radiuses to put in. They call out for a 1/4 inch. It would work, but I want a little something more than that. We're going to go 0.5. I am going to put in 1/2 inch radiuses. Same thing again. Get them lined up in your corners. Okay? Right click, copy, right click, paste, drag your second one over, pop. He's now pretty much all put together with the exception of doing the node editing. Okay, we'll do that now. Same thing again. Edit Objects, Node Editing, light up your circle, right click, delete point, right click, delete point, right click, delete span. Light up your other circle. Right click, delete point, right click, delete point, right click, delete span. Now, I keep narrating this because I want to drive it in. Now, obviously anybody who's been doing this for a while is probably finding no joy out of what I'm doing here because you've been doing this for a while. Okay? Same thing again. We deleted our node, right click, we delete our span. Oh, goodness. Okay, we delete our span. Now we come in, right above, well, we took out that node. Again, right click, insert a point. Over here, right click, insert a point. Now, we want to right click as we're still under Edit Objects in the node editing or the selection, and we want to right click, we want to delete our span, right click, delete our span, okay, delete. Alright, we come up to the top, we got to get these little radiuses dialed in. Okay, right click, okay, node editing, right click, insert your point, come down here, right click, insert your point. Great, same thing, other side. Insert a point, right click, insert a point. Delete span, right click, delete span. Now, what we have again, right click, delete span. Delete point, delete span gets you the same results. Okay. Now, go lay down, stop crying. I got a cat in here driving me crazy. Okay, now, we're going to do the same thing to the inner that we just did to the outer. We want to make this one concise toolpath. Edit Objects, Selection Mode. As you can see, you've only got one dotted line lit. Hold down your Shift key. Light up your top, your side, your bottom. Anything that's not got a red or pink dotted line. Go over to Edit Objects, Join Open Vectors, hit Join. Pow. Now, both your toolpaths have the right radius put in them. You got your 4.5 inch down here, you got your 2.5 inch here. It leaves a 1 inch rail all the way around. I would suggest to build this clock out of hardwood if you can. Pine might be a little flimsy. Then again, once it's built and it's on the wall, it shouldn't get broken, but I'm just a hardwood guy anyways. So, our next step here is going to be how to cluster the pieces inside. It's going to be the clock face on the top, and how to tie this together. For the moment, we're going to stop right here. I'm going to try to piece this video into more than one part so that we won't have one 60 or 90 minute thing to watch. And if you hang on, we will be right back. Thank you very much. Alright, welcome back, and here we go for the next round. What we're going to be doing here is we're going to pull up our print, because the next thing we want to do is we want to find out how big of bars we need, where we need to nest them, and where they need to be located on the face frame. Okay. Well, here we have our blueprint again. This is our bottom line. From the very bottom of this clock to the center of our bottom hole for the clock face, we're 10 13/16 of an inch off the bottom. Now, 13/16, we need to make that into a decimal. Simple mathematics. Divide 13 by 16, you come up with 0.812. So we're 10.812 inches up off the bottom of the frame. We also show right here, we are an additional 4 inches right here to our upper hole. Okay, so we are a total of 14.812 inches from the bottom of our clock up to our top hole, center. Okay, now, if we take our handy dandy little computer calculator and we take the overall measurement, which is 17 inches in height, we now subtract our 14.812 inches. What we should come up with is 2.188. That is going to be the measurement from the center of that hole to the top of the clock. 2.188, well, we'll round that up to 2.2. No problems. Okay. Now, the other thing we need to find out is just how big these need to be. Okay? These are our brackets. These are the brackets that attach to the face frame that go on the bottom side of the clock. Now remember, we're bypassing all the hardware. So what we're going to do is we're going to dimensionally look at these. It's calling out for 3/8 in height, a 1/2 inch wide, 6 inches long. Well, I've already built a few of these clocks, so I know that I don't need the full 6. Okay? I also know that at a 1/2 inch wide, let me minimize this, my rail is only 1 inch wide here. If I put in a full 1/2 inch, it's going to leave a 1/4 inch of solid material on each side. Now granted, there's going to be a big round clock face over that. I just prefer to have a little bit more meat on either side of those bars, okay? Well, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to design these bars, okay? We're going to design our bars up, and we're going to go into Create Vectors, and we're going to go into our Draw a Rectangle, and again, here we go. Now, for our width, I want these to be 3/8 wide. So, that'd be 0.375. And my length on this, well, I want these to be 5 inches. The bars for the back of the clock are calling out for a 6. I'm putting in a 5. We're going to show you here in a little bit as to why. We're going to apply. We're going to close. Okay, now, we had talked about nesting this right dead center in our material. Well, we can put one here. Okay. And again, we're not exactly center. We come to our Transform Objects, Align Material, center it. Great. Now, we're going to take him. I need 2 bars, one for each side. I'm going to copy. I'm going to paste. And I'm just going to drag him out. Okay, now, same thing again, Transform Objects, align him, beautiful. Now, we've got both of our bars in here that we're going to be using for our side. Now, we know that from the top of our material down to the center of our top hole in our frame, we needed to be 2.2 inches. Way to do this, I'm sorry, this is one way to do this, alright? We're going to come in, and what I want, I don't really care the width of my rectangle, but my height needs to be 2.2. I'm going to apply this. I'm going to bring you in, and what I want to do is I want to basically touch the top of that to the top of my clock frame. Okay? You can see how everything is laid right over the top of each other. Now, what you'll see right here is you're going to see, and this is a selected guide. We'll delete it, and what we'll do is I'll just add another one in. Right-click, Guidelines. Add a horizontal guideline. Okay, now pull your guideline down. Get your guideline right flat with the bottom of that 2.2 inch rectangle you just put in. Now, what we know is this. We now know that from the top of here to this reference guide, these dotted lines are exactly 2.2 inches to my center hole on my top mounting hole, which we're not using the holes, but we're going to delete that box. We don't need it. Now, I need to take these bars, okay, and I need to copy them again. Now, this bar is going to basically slot out over here, okay? And with the top of my bar hitting the top of my guideline, I know that I'm exactly 2.2 inches down from the top of my material. Now, I want to get center over here, okay? Well, I know that this is 1 inch wide exactly. What I may do is just come in here and build a little 0.5, 0.5, apply. Okay, now what I know is this. It's the center of my box. I'm sorry, the center of my bar. This is my box. There are more options in this software to prevent you from doing this. That will be in another tutorial down the road. This is just once again, this is just a basic, out of the box, newbie sort of way to do this in just one way. This is just one way of doing something. Okay. Now again, I want to pull my center over to here. Okay. Now I know that my 0.375 by 5 inch bar that I copied out of my nest in the middle, that I moved over here, I now know that I've got the same amount of material on each side. Okay? I realize that this probably isn't the best way to do this, but again, it is an easy way. Okay, same thing. We grab our other bar here. This is our center. There we go. Now, again, you can take this square and you can delete them. Get rid of them. Now, we are about ready to cut toolpaths. So this is pretty exciting. Okay, just to recap, outer is built, inner is built, 1 inch frame width all the way around. We have now got our mounting bars clustered into the middle of the piece to save on scrap. We have now taken a copy of these bars and we've put them out here because we are in fact going to have to we're going to have to mill a slot. Okay? Now, we're going to bring our blueprint back up. We're going to look at something really quick here, and I'm going to explain to you real quick again why I did what I just did. Either way, those 3/8 thick bars that are a 1/2 inch wide and called out for being 6 inches long with two 7/32 holes in them, I'm sorry, 7/64 holes in them. The only thing and the only purpose those two bars have is to hold the clock face off the frame so that the pendulum can swing. Okay? That is the only purpose they serve. Now, I changed the dimensions around for the mere fact that I wanted more than 1/4 inch of material on each side. If I had gone with a full 1/2 inch wide bar on a 1 inch wide frame, there would have only been 1/4 inch on each side. I thought that was kind of, just didn't offer the piece enough integrity. So what we did was we also shortened them from 6 down to 5, from 1/2 inch to 3/8 wide. Now, I'm going to be using 1-inch material. So, in my dimension right here, where it's calling out for a 3/8 thick, I'm actually going to have 1 inch. So what I've got to do is I am going to have to pocket out on my frame and the back side of my clock, whatever the difference is going to be, so that I still only have 3/8 of a gap between the front of the face frame and the back of the clock. That's it. We will get to that as far as our depth when we go to do our clock face, okay? So for right now, we're going to break out our tool path, okay? We're going to look at our outer frame.